Welcome back to the Coach's Corner here on the campus of West Virginia State University. I'm your host, Lee France. Fans, it's now time to meet Yellow Jackets senior wide receiver Jermain King, who is just 9 receptions away from tying a career record. Jermain, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
First, tell me a little bit about yourself, Jermain, where you come from, and also how you got into football. I know it's probably a long time ago.
Well, I'm from Wauchula, Florida. That's Central Florida. It's about an hour and a half below Orlando, Florida. And just growing up, me and my friends used to always go out in the field right by my house and just play catch and everything. And on Saturdays, they would go off and play Little League football, and I would be stuck at home because my mom didn't sign me up in time. So I had to sit out in the yard and just throw up the ball by myself and pretend that I was in some type of league and have all different types of teams and pretend I was different players or whatnot. I guess that's where I got my hands from, because I was just throwing it up and just run and catch it. But that's basically when I started playing football, about the age of 4 or 5. Yes, sir.
Something you can put your finger on that you really, that drew you to the game of football and you love it and you've stuck with it this long?
Me personally, I love being in front of people. I love performing. Actually, in high school, I was in my senior play. I played Sonny in Greece. So, it's just whenever you get out there in front of people and just to see the passion from the fans watching you play, it just brings out a whole nother side of you. Plus, it just allows you to go out there and just be creative on the football field, like a catch a pass, drag your feet in, and then just to see the fans roar and everything like that, it just gives me goosebumps. So I guess that's where I get that passion for the love of the game of football.
Do you see yourself as a senior leader, and if so, how did you work into that role? Describe to me how that came about.
Well, just throughout my whole career, I just been the type of guy that's just want to let my actions speak louder than words. I don't really like to talk all the time. I just like to talk when I have to. So like just gradually over time, just making plays and just trying to show guys, I'm out here with y'all, trying to work as hard as y'all. We're a whole team, and guys just gravitate to that. Just over time, my teammates just have looked up to me as, somebody that they could come to and talk to, somebody they could trust, somebody that if they were having problems, out there on the field, I would give them the honest opinion on everything. And I guess that's just where that leadership has come over time.
When I mentioned that you're 9 catches away from tying a school record, 10 obviously from breaking the record, 270-some yards also away from another record, what does that mean to you? Can you put into words that you're going to set a school record this season?
It means a lot. Just growing up and you see all these guys at these schools who set records, and just knowing, when you look back on back on history, you see their names in this history. And then after last year, watching Kev break that record, it's just the thought in your head that whenever I leave, my record will be there until somebody else breaks it, of course. But just to have that in the history books just makes you feel good inside. It makes all that hard work and all that production out in the field worth everything.
Jermain, this team's gotten off to a rocky start this year at 0-2, played a couple of good teams, though, Central State and Virginia State. What, in your mind, has been the problem, if there is a problem per se?
The offense just hasn't really been able to click so far. Like in the Central State game, we came out, moved the ball a little bit, then ended up going for a field goal, got blocked, came out the next drive, scored, and we haven't really been on a consistent basis. Then you see the Virginia State game, whenever the defense was playing good, the offense wasn't playing good. So then when the offense started playing good, then the defense started not playing as good. So I think if we can just get everybody on the same page at one time and just build that consistency, I think we'll be a lot better. Oh, yes, sir.
You've had Robert Jackson and Ricky Phillips throwing you the ball this season so far in the first 2 games. Describe either their differences or what they bring to the table.
Well, the thing about Ricky is Ricky has played, recently in college, so he has that experience. So out there on the field, when it comes to checks, reading, and just the comfort level, I think he's a lot further than BJ is. BJ is a great leader. BJ, he fights, he works hard. He was here the whole summer with us, working hard, trying to keep everybody motivated, trying to fill that role as a quarterback and a leader. And I think that's what he brings. But I think the thing that he's just lacking right now is just that experience and that leadership and just that comfort level out there on the field. Yes, sir.
Talk about the University of Charleston coming up this weekend. I see you smile already.
Yes, sir.
Huge rivalry. You've beat them once in your 4 years. What would it mean your senior year to beat them?
It would mean a lot, you know, because right now they got the upper hand on me. I'm 1-2 with them, so I mean it would just be big. Because whenever we go to the mall, we see them. Whenever they come play us in basketball, we see them. I remember last year during the basketball game we played them down there. After we was about to win, they started chanting out, "See us in football." So I mean, they just have the bragging rights right now. So you have to respect that. But just to get a whole another opportunity, another crack at them, to beat them. You know, they're great competitors out there. You know, it's a rivalry. Anytime it's a rivalry, it's fierce, it's tough, and you gotta love it. You know.
Yeah, I've always said, and I've told Coach Monroe the same thing, that if you play chess with these guys, checkers, there's going to be a fight. Something happens. It's one of those type of rivalries.
Yes, sir. Oh, big time.
Talk about your future plans. What are your plans after football? Do you obviously you'd like to go one if you could?
Oh, yes, sir. Well, I'm hoping that this year turns around a lot better. Hopefully, I can have a big year and just try to put myself in a position where if there's a chance, I can play professionally. I've had some guys come down here in the spring, talk to me, work me out. And just one of the things they just told me is just you got to have a big year and then just worry about your senior year and then let everything else play itself out. So I'm just coming into this whole season with the whole mentality that this could be my last year of ever playing football. So I'm just going to go out there and just try to leave it all out on the field, and then whatever the Lord has for me, that'll be. But if not football, then I would love to finish my degree here, then try to get my master's in sports management, and try to pursue a career as an athletic director or just anything dealing with football, because I really love football and love sports.
Thanks, Jermain. We're going to come back with Coach Monroe right after this. Let's bring back head coach Earl Monroe. Coach, we just spoke to your senior wide receiver, Jermain King. Tell me a little bit about how you found him 4 years ago.
Well, we had a coach in Florida that had played here, Chris Branham. He played for us several years ago, and he's coaching in the Florida area. And he actually coached Jermain in an all-star game. And he is the same coach that sent us Kevin O'Brien. So when he called us the year later with Jermain King, we didn't even question it because we knew, you know, he could evaluate talent.
Can you put into words what he has meant to this program in the 4 years that he's been here?
It's unbelievable. I mean, we tell our kids if you work hard and do things right, good things will happen to you. And he is actually the poster child for that, because he has worked extremely hard. He's done every single thing we asked him right on and off the football field, and he deserves any accomplishment and every accomplishment that he can achieve here.
You know, I asked him about what it means to hear his name 9 catches away from tying a school record, 10 catches obviously away from breaking it. Let me ask you the same thing. When you're a head coach now for just 5 years, head coach at least, when you hear that about a player who is about ready again to break a school record, what does that mean to you?
It's unbelievable. And, you know, speaking of Kevin O'Brien left as the all-time leading passer in West Virginia State history, which is a great accomplishment. And Jermain, like you said, is only, with a little luck, he'll become the all-time leading receiver here. And that's great. I mean, it's a testament to those two players. It's a testament to what Coach Shaw has done with the offense. But it comes back to those guys working hard and doing everything that they needed to do right to make the success happen for them.
Now, you've got the University of Charleston coming up this Saturday. It's a big rivalry game. Tell me a little bit about this rivalry with the University of Charleston.
Well, it's a big rivalry because it's bragging rights in the Valley. The guys know each other. You know, we've got guys that went to school with players on their team. But it's a huge game for us in several respects. The UC rivalry, I think we're 1-3 in the rivalry since I was the head coach. So we like to get pulled a little bit closer to that. But it's a huge week for West Virginia State University football.
Any concerns, or I guess the players really should be excited to play at the University of Charleston Stadium, Laidley Field, where there's expected to be quite a big turnout?
It's going to be a tough challenge, no question. They're a good football team, well-coached football team. We're going to have our work cut out. Hopefully we can minimize mistakes on both sides of the football and make it a real good, exciting football game, WVIAC football game.
I think they won last year 35-0 here on the home field. There's some players on this team like Jermain King that remembers that. That has to be good motivation for those guys to go in.
Hopefully it is, and that's what we're worried about. I mean, they beat us 35-0 with a veteran team. So we're going in with a young team, but we're going to have them ready to play. We're going to be ready to play. Everybody show up at 1 o'clock on Saturday and see a good college football game.
Any memories that stand out for you, this University of Charleston rivalry, whether it's in baseball, football, anything that you've encountered that pop out in your mind?
Well, the biggest memory is the time we beat them. I mean, that was a big win for us. We'd never beaten them before, and hopefully we can have that same feeling on Saturday, about 3:30.
What has it been like to have these first 3 games on the road, even though the University of Charleston is just about 9 miles away or so?
It's tough. Again, you know, we go back to that crutch of saying we have a young team, but it's tough to, you know, you have a short week because you have to travel. We're going to play this one like a home game. We're not even going to dress in the locker room down there. We're going to dress in our locker room, and this will be the first time we did this. We're going to dress in the confines of our locker room and then bust down there. So hopefully we'll be a little bit more comfortable. But our guys will be ready to play. We'll be ready to play.
We're getting started in West Virginia Conference play this week all around the state here. Tell me a little bit about what you know about the conference teams. Obviously, West Liberty's tough. Shepherd's going to be tough. Glenville State. But what are your thoughts going into league play?
Everybody's tough. If you look at our out-of-conference play, the teams have fared really well against PSAC teams and all other conference teams. This conference is tough. You need to show up every single week. You can't look at who beat who last week and who they beat, what score they beat them by. You need to show up at 1 o'clock on Saturday and fight for 60 minutes in this league, or you will get your tail beat.
How do you think this team has handled so far the 0-2 start? I know you've been on some teams that have sometimes went, or been part of teams that have went winless all season, but they've started 0-2. What's your take so far, your gut feeling?
The atmosphere is pretty good. We had a couple good practices, had a couple good meetings. The kids are wanting to learn. You know, naturally, going against this high-potent option offense, we have to make some adjustments and put in some new things on defense, and they're excited about the game plan. We sat all weekend and tried to come up with a game plan to try to slow this offense down. So the kids are excited about the game plan on defense. They're working awful hard. They, you know, seem like they're, you know, ready to play, and they understand that we need to get a victory and we need one soon.
How have the coaches handled this 0-2 start as a coaching staff? I know you're working with kids. Sometimes you can forget that, but you got to keep everything kind of on an even keel.
Right. We're working hard. You know, we're trying to get the guys motivated, try to eliminate some mistakes, and get ready to play a pretty good football team.
And with Charleston coming up, and then you finally get a home game after Charleston, if we could look a little bit further ahead, but it's Concord University. I mean, that's got to be just something that sticks out at you. You can't look past Charleston, though.
No, we won't look past Charleston. Hopefully we'll be playing Concord to get even at 2-2. That's the game plan. Plus, we lost our defensive coordinator, William King, to Concord, so that's always in the back of your mind. You know, we got to make up some new signals so he won't steal my signals on the sideline. But, you know, that's 2 weeks down the road. We've got a huge challenge this week. We can't look that far. We can't look anywhere past the University of Charleston.
Coach, thanks so much for joining us, and I want to thank Jermain King as well. That's going to wrap up another edition of the Coach's Corner here on the campus of West Virginia State University. Join us each and every Thursday night at 7 o'clock for the latest on Yellow Jacket Athletics. Until next week, for everyone involved in this production of the Coach's Corner, I'm Lee France. Good night and go Jackets.